I have been online since I was 11, and I've had the account that I have now since I was 11. And the reason it grew so quickly when it began, when I was a child, is because it was like a fan account. So, like you said, it was like music and artists and TV shows and people that I looked up to that kind of started the whole thing. Um, and then I wanted to start to take it seriously, and the advice I kept hearing was, "You need to have a niche. You need to have a niche." And I just thought, well, I don't really want a niche. I just want to talk about what I enjoy. So, and I already kind of did that, but I didn't focus on it. It was just my face. And although people, liked that, there's pictures of me, if you scroll down, of like 1,000 likes and it's just a picture of my face. It's like I wanted that connection of who I really am and people who also enjoyed what I enjoyed. So instead of taking the route of this is my niche, I took the route of what do I actually love and what do I enjoy. And that's always been reading, it's always been writing. And I felt like also there was a community with Book Talk, Bookstagram, Booktube that I don't think is really present with music or movies unless you're like a fan account. So I feel like it was the perfect entrance to my passion, really, to like showing part of myself.
And did you start as a bookstagrammer, or were you more a YouTuber or booktuber? How where did you start kind of doing your content?
I started it on Instagram. So I've been on Instagram as a fan account when I was a kid, and then that grew into like just content about myself because I basically grew up with the influencer becoming a thing. And then I started to do book content on YouTube, and that started to do quite well despite YouTube being the place I have the least following. Um, and then I kind of thought, well, I like it so much that I'll start doing it on Instagram, and it's become really, really positive on Instagram, like quite a decent growth in following and community. And I do it on TikTok as well, but I feel like that's harder to gather a lot of people's attention for a long time.
the the transition from fan accounts to building communities and creators is so crazy. I've known so many people that had these huge pages and then they like run big communities still. So that train that I don't know even what you call it, that skill that you build at a young age actually just kind of is like a really unique thing for helping you build community. So when it comes to community and engaging with your audience, how do you think about that?
Um, I always think about who I am as a person. I know that a lot of people kind of, when they're in my position, think about what do people want to see, what do people expect from me. But I try to flip that around because I think if you do that, you'll burn out. So I think the best advice that I have for myself and for everyone who's in my position is to post what you want to post, because I think if people follow you, they follow you for a reason. And if you're someone like me who posts their face and their personality so much and is so open, then they're going to stick around for that. So I think, yeah, I think just being true to yourself and showing personality, because like there's such thing as like faceless accounts,
Yeah.
and it's quite common with books especially, and I think people think that if you do that you can't show personality, but that's not true at all. You don't need a face to have a personality. So I think, if you're funny in real life, be funny online, like share memes. Like it doesn't really matter how it starts or where it stems from. If I can go, oh, that sounds like something so and so would say, then you've immediately got my attention, and you've immediately got someone who thinks of you even though they don't know you. So I think that's what's important.
Yeah, I think the faceless accounts make a lot of sense for just as it depends on who you are as a personality, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's even kind of like what we do at Bookham is we allow audio to be a space because some people may be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I don't want to do the show my face online, but I have no problem having really intricate and community conversations online. So just giving people a variety to allow
Yeah.
them to post the best they can.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of that, like, have you ever been been nervous about posting something, but like was ended up being really grateful for it because it did well? Or how do you think about posting things when you're kind of nervous about showing that much of yourself?
Um, yeah, I think the most nervous I've been to post is usually when it's quite not vulnerable, but specific to like mental health. I think that I've always, because I've been online since I was 11, I literally posted like through my worst years. So it's not that the topic that scares me, but more so personal stories of what I've been through. And I don't think that's because I'm sharing it to so many people. I think that's because I have family following me, and you say certain things and you think, oh God, have I not said this to a friend? And a friend's going to be like, why haven't you told me this? Or even people from the past who maybe even caused some of those issues, seeing it's a really big possibility. And so I think for me it's more of a internal worry. But whenever I do post about it, because I do a lot on TikTok actually, it actually gets such a lovely response. It gets like a really, like, even from people who don't follow me, just kind of wishing you well. And I think like that's such a sweet, nice interaction that you may not find elsewhere. And also that fear kind of dissipates once it's up there, because it's up there and it can always come down if you want it to. So it's one of those things where it's just like, it's just me being silly and in my head kind of thing. So yeah, it's never because of the following, and I think that's usually why people get a bit nervous, but opposite for me.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like you can talk to thousands of people and fear, have no fear, but then you have those four people that you care the most about, and it's like
Mhm.
you're stumbling over your words, and
Yeah.
it's just so interesting how us as humans do that, right? You can
Yeah.
some people you might be nervous to talk to, and then some people you have zero.
If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you head over to www.bookupapp.com to download our app so you can connect with your favorite bookish content creators, start conversations, and start your own book club.